Welcome to Viet Health Kitchen. Today we're taking you on a journey to discover three powerful ingredients that when combined deliver surprisingly effective results for your health. You don't believe it? Let's find out together. There's a kind of quiet that only comes in the early hours 3:00 a.m. when the rest of the world sleeps soundly. And there you are, eyes open, heart pacing slightly, mind drifting from one thought to the next. You check the clock. You check it again. The stillness outside only sharpens the restlessness inside. For many of us in our 60s and beyond, this is not a rare occurrence. It's a familiar companion. Insomnia. Once a word we associated with younger, anxious generations now visits us regularly. It arrives quietly without warning. And it lingers. But as I've grown older, I've learned to stop fighting my body and start listening to it. What it needs is not always more medicine. Sometimes it needs more memory, more ritual, more nature. That's how I discovered this blend: Lotus Root, black beans, ginger, three humble ingredients from the East that now sit at the center of my evening routine. They don't knock me out. They don't numb the mind. Instead, they gently escort me to rest and keep my blood pressure from running its own late-night marathons. Lotus Root is the quiet hero in this story. Native to Asia, it is both a vegetable and a symbol. It grows in muddy waters yet emerges clean, pure, and beautiful. That metaphor alone has always comforted me. In traditional Chinese medicine, lotus root is believed to cool the blood and calm internal heat, a state often linked to agitation, nervousness, and sleeplessness. The physical effects support the metaphor. It's rich in potassium, which helps widen blood vessels, reduce pressure on artery walls, and calm the cardiovascular system. But that's not all. Lotus root is also high in pyridoxine, a form of vitamin B6, which plays a vital role in neurotransmitter balance. This compound helps the brain regulate mood, reduce anxiety, and ease mental tension. It supports GABA activity, which quiets the nervous system and promotes sleep. When I first added lotus root to my nightly tonic, I expected little. What I received was subtle but steady. My mind, which usually played back every regret, worry, and memory, began to quiet. Not all at once, but enough to fall asleep more easily, enough to wake up feeling like I'd actually rested. Now let's talk about black beans. In the West, we often associate them with chili or rice bowls. But in many Eastern traditions, black beans are viewed as medicine for the kidneys. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys are the root of life, and when they are strong, sleep comes easier. Energy flows more smoothly. Blood pressure remains stable. From a modern nutritional standpoint, black beans are a sleep-supporting powerhouse. They contain high levels of magnesium, which relaxes the nervous system and muscles. Magnesium is essential for converting tryptophan into serotonin and ultimately melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep. They're also rich in iron and antioxidants, supporting healthy blood and reducing oxidative stress, a known contributor to poor sleep and hypertension. But perhaps most importantly, they regulate blood sugar. Fluctuating glucose can trigger cortisol spikes during the night, waking you up in a panic. Black beans slow down digestion and keep your blood sugar stable throughout the night. When I started soaking black beans and incorporating them into my evening routine, I noticed fewer hot flashes, fewer nighttime wake-ups, and a general sense of being grounded. It was like my body had returned to a rhythm I thought was gone forever. If lotus root is the calm and black beans are the anchor, ginger is the spark. Used for over 2,000 years in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine, ginger is known for its ability to increase circulation, aid digestion, and reduce inflammation. For those of us in our golden years, that means fewer nighttime joint aches, better nutrient absorption, and a warmer body, literally. Cold limbs and poor circulation can keep us awake at night. So can indigestion. Ginger addresses both. It also contains gingerol, a compound that acts as a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. This helps lower systemic inflammation, a key contributor to both poor sleep and high blood pressure. I use ginger in thin slices added to the pot when boiling the beans and lotus root. It adds warmth to the drink, depth to the flavor, and life to the ritual. With ginger, I fall asleep not just easier but deeper, and I stay asleep longer. This isn't a complicated recipe. It's simple, slow, and forgiving, just like the best parts of aging. Ingredients: 100 g fresh lotus root sliced thin, 1/4 cup dried black beans soaked overnight, 4 slices of fresh ginger, 2.5 cups filtered water. Instructions. Rinse the soaked beans thoroughly. Add black beans and ginger to a pot with water. Bring to a boil. Simmer for 15 minutes. Add lotus root slices and continue simmering for another 20-25 minutes. Serve warm as a soup or tonic. When to drink? Evening about 1 hour before bed. Optional. Add a pinch of sea salt if you crave depth. Add 1 teaspoon raw honey if your blood sugar is stable. Do not drink cold. The warmth is part of the medicine. Over the past few years, I've shared this recipe with countless friends in my retirement community. Some were skeptical, some still are. But many came back to me weeks later smiling. They told me they weren't waking up every hour, that their dreams had returned, that their systolic pressure had dropped by 10 points, that they felt calmer in the evening and more energized in the morning. Still, not everyone saw results right away. And often that's because of small, easy-to-miss mistakes. Using canned beans instead of soaked dried ones. Canned beans often contain salt and preservatives that interfere with the calming effect. Skipping the ginger or using too much. Balance is key. Too little and circulation won't improve. Too much and the body may feel overstimulated. Drinking the tonic too close to bedtime. Give your body at least 45-60 minutes to settle after drinking. Expecting instant results. This is not a pill, it's a practice. With natural healing, consistency is everything. Like most of what matters in life. If you've made it this far, let me leave you with this. Sleep isn't something you conquer. It's something you return to, like an old friend, a warm blanket, a familiar melody. Lotus root, black beans, ginger. They don't sedate you. They remind you of balance, of rhythm, of the body's wisdom. And as for blood pressure, it doesn't respond well to fear. It responds to softness, to routine, to warmth. So tonight I invite you to brew a pot of this tonic. Not for immediate results, but for the slow, quiet return to a life that supports rest. And if it works for you, even a little, share it. Someone else may be lying awake tonight not knowing peace is just 3 ingredients away. Have you tried natural remedies like this before? Leave a comment. I read every one. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Every week I'll be bringing you more rituals and remedies for life after 60. Until next time, sleep well, friend.